Welcome to You and Your Money, empowering you to reach your goals with tips to help you plan well, invest well, and live well. Today's episode features Liesl Cording, Senior Vice President and Financial Advisor at Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors. Let's dig into today's topic.
Welcome to You and Your Money. Joining us today is Liesl Cording, Senior Vice President and Financial Advisor at Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors. Welcome back, Liesl.
Thank you very much, Ben. Good morning. Always great to be here.
Always a pleasure. Today we'll be discussing the importance of reassessing your retirement strategy and when it's necessary to make adjustments. Now, let's dive right into today's topic. Why is it critical for individuals to periodically revisit their retirement strategy?
Well, good question, Ben. And I'm actually going to relate this to a little bit of a story. Let's assume that you're a pilot of a plane, okay, and you're taking off from Connecticut, going to be landing in California. Once you get to California, that's your retirement, okay? I'm the air traffic controller and also the advisor in this situation. But as the pilot, I mean, you're pretty much, once you get up in the air, you're set to autopilot. You check in with air traffic control here and there to make sure you're still on track. And so that's what we do as advisors, is really checking in to make sure that you're still on track, so that once you get to California, you're ready to retire and you've landed in the right airport and you're set to go. So it's just really important. I mean, there will be things along the way, major events that will have you maybe shifting your course on that trip to California, but you just want to make sure that you're on track, and checking in with an advisor is key.
That makes a lot of sense. I like the analogy as well. Can you elaborate on some of the situations that warrant a reevaluation of one's retirement strategy?
That's why working with an advisor is really key to stay on track. For some, I mean, there's always going to be life changes, whether it's getting a new job, or you've had a baby, or you've gotten married, or divorce. Any of those life changes really would warrant you to check in on your plan, because it could impact it, and you want to make sure that you're on that right glide path. And if you have to, make adjustments. And then there's also external factors like tax policy and things that you need to be aware of as well that may impact your plan.
It's clear that there are various circumstances that should prompt individuals to revisit their retirement strategy. Can you provide some examples of how these situations can impact someone's financial?
Sure. Yeah, and I'll give you an example of a client I had that had a major job transition. So they were living in Boston with their family, and they wanted to move actually back to the Northeast corner to be closer to family and have more flexibility. Well, that meant that the wife was going to have to take a different job, and so was making less money. So when you check in on the financial plan there, you want to make sure that the savings that they're able to do now with that lower combined household income, they're able to still stay on track and retire when they want to. So either you have to make some adjustments elsewhere and reduce some spending. But that's one example. I mean, there's other examples too. Again, marriage and if you're going through a divorce, those are somewhere you want to check back in. That's going to have a major impact. Either in a marriage, you're combining now your assets and savings. A divorce, you're splitting things. So that makes it a little more challenging. And then again, there's the other piece to this too. When it comes to those changes, there may be a change, and we call it risk. And in our today we were talking about risk capacity, but that's really your ability to take on more risk or less risk depending on the situation within your financial plan. So making sure that by taking on that less risk or taking on more risk, you're able to still achieve your plan.
Those are all significant factors to consider. I can see what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Are there any external factors or regular maintenance tasks that individuals should be aware of when reassessing their retirement strategy?
Yeah, and I touched on it briefly. The major tax policy or laws that come into that get passed. More recently, we had Secure Act 2.0, which was sort of a revision and addition to the original Secure Act that was passed in 2019. But just one example there's a provision within that new law that allows those that are between 60 and 63 to actually in addition to the over 50 contribution on retirement accounts, they're able to save even more into a 401k account. So there's things like that that maybe you might not be aware of that actually allow you to save more. And there were some other impacts too, where especially with retirees, where they had to start then taking required distributions later. So all of this has an impact, but reviewing and revisiting that retirement plan on whether it's annually or semi-annually, depending on what you have going on, is really important to keep up with these things that change, and you have to adapt to them, or else your plan, you got to stay on track. That's important.
For sure. It's clear that staying proactive and keeping one's retirement strategy up to date is crucial. Could you highlight the importance of working with a strategic financial advisor in this process?
Yeah, of course. And that I sort of gave an example in that last bit there, but having a retirement plan alone is not enough. You need to have a strategic partner that's thinking of things like, oh, you can save an additional amount in your 401k because you're between these two ages. So there's a lot of things that go into that. A financial planner can help you think more strategically on how to save in retirement accounts, or investment accounts. But a well-designed strategy considers all of your investments that you have, and both now, current in the present, and also in the longer term. So how are you going to meet those goals to then have a nice retirement? So all very important. And here at WHZ, our Plan Well, Invest Well, Live Well process, that's exactly what we do with every one of our clients, and it allows us to build that strategic plan to help our clients live well and make the most of the money that they've saved all their lives. So.
Gotcha. Well, that's some excellent advice, Lizel. For our listeners who are interested in seeking assistance from Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Financial Advisors, how can they get in touch with you?
Well, if you're ready to build that strategic plan that I was talking about and secure your financial future, you can request a complimentary consultation on our website at whzwealth.com, or you can give us a call, of course, at 860-928-2341.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us today, Lizel.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, Ben.
That's it for today. Thanks for listening to You and Your Money. Find even more episodes, videos, and other resources at our website, whzwealth.com. Be sure to come back next week for more tips to help you live fearlessly and pursue your financial and life goals. Until then, live well. Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors offers securities and advisory services through Commonwealth Financial Network, member FINRA, SIPC, a registered investment advisor. Fixed insurance products and services offered through CES Insurance Agency. They practice at 697 Pomfret Street, Pomfret Center, Connecticut, 06259, and can be reached at 860-928-2341. Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors do not provide legal or tax advice. The tenured financial services team strives to support clients in achieving their financial life goals. For more information regarding wealth management and customized financial planning with Weiss Hale & Zahansky Strategic Wealth Advisors, please visit www.whzwealth.com.